looks like we've had a new pad poured.
Right.
Okay. A little bit of spalling and breaking away happening there.
Okay.
Just stuff to monitor. If there's moisture there, let's get it away. That's always the problem. You can see they've done some repair work here.
Well, it looks like that drain spout dumps right into the crack there.
Same deal. Yep.
So
And you can see the brick. You see where it's deteriorating and starting to break away. Now that's, I'm not even sure why that's happened unless this was, it looks like it might have been a porch
looks
or
like
something
a
here.
planter or something may have been up against the
Something
wall.
was up here and that was putting a bunch of water in that location. So that's a spot where you need to dig out that old mortar and reseal that.
Okay.
You know, and remortar it, and you can see it's pretty heavy in several locations. Okay. Pad itself looks fine. Sprinklers, we don't test as part of this service. What I'm not finding is any kind of a shut-off valve for it.
Okay.
Typically, that's called a stop and waste valve, and it's somewhere in line with the water main coming into the house. I'm not seeing that location. Here's a valve box, the only one that I found. It does have a drainage line on it, but when I come over here to the hose bibs, I've got this set up.
You got some crazy,
some kind of a galvanized setup. So I'm betting that this sprinkler system is not fully installed off the water main.
They must ran hoses all over the place, and
there must be there must be some way to connect from here over to there.
Yeah.
Something that you might want to ask the sellers about. They should be able to give you as much advice as anybody on it, and that's probably your best bet.
Okay.
From there, it's a lot of testing. So, you know, just checking stuff to see where it's.
Was this going to cause problems with this? Is this something that needs to be jacked or filled?
You know, once again, it's an offset little piece of pad right there.
It's all kind of slipping away.
It's been poured later. This looks like it's newer than the patio. We can see movement. All of this stuff right now is going to be a problem with moisture. You're on the north side, so really this is a spot.
all winter long this is going to be covered with snow.
Well, yeah, so you're going to have to deal with that, and we really, as the moisture goes down, it's going to move that pad.
Right.
And deal with that. This can be sealed. I mean, this is probably big enough here that you can do a decent seal on it. But when you seal it, you're all of a sudden into this ugly cosmetic.
Right.
But not that this is pretty, so I guess it's not as big a deal.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be typical, and moisture is going to be your enemy there. So, okay. Also, underneath those hose bibs, we want splash blocks, something to divert the water away from the foundation. So that's always a good idea. Okay. Gas meter is behind this bush on the wall there. Okay, let's see. Looks like we're pretty good coming down this side. AC condensing unit. Keep the vegetation cleared away. I can see a little bit of minor fin damage, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Those electrical wires, I think they were probably pulled out for service. They need to be put back underneath. Yeah. The insulation on the line here, this black insulation. Yeah, just watch it. As it breaks down, replace it. This little tube here is a condensation discharge line for your AC. So in the summertime, that should be leaking. Okay. It's not a problem there, but once again, it's a moisture source next to the foundation. And there's your emergency shutoff and service switch for the condensing unit, which is fine. But we really want to see a wire or a staple connecting that, a bracket
to the wall.
House. Yeah, you don't want that to be able to tug. So minor, once again. Okay. Little roof over the stairway here. Once again, no flashing. You can see what their option was. So you're going to get moisture through there. I can see a little cracking movement there, minor. More cracking movement right here, but this is a separately poured pad. Okay. So that, once again, it's a moisture issue. If we keep the moisture away from it, it's probably not an issue. Okay. That's where they tried to form two pads together. They're going to separate.
So more of just a
probably
just a repatch
was probably a big deal. Yeah, I mean, cosmetically you can patch it. Yeah. Realistically, we just don't want to see it move. You want to keep monitoring it, see what your snow load looks like over here. Now, when we come down the stairs, we don't have an area drain at the bottom. Oh, we do. We do have an area drain. So, once again, you want to... I didn't see that. You know what? I did not see that until just now. I'm glad that dust rolled away. Yeah. Or that, whatever was
papers
on,
and all.
leaves, yeah. So, that should be fine then. Okay. Nothing really to worry about. Okay. All right. Also, you can see the gutters. They have been strapped to the top of the shingles with straps. Just one loose there. That's all typical. I mean, the ice and snow is going to move them almost annually. All right. But where they penetrate the shingles, we need to seal those nails. Right. So once again, another.
Is like a drain like that? Does that connect to sewer normally, or is it go ground system?
What they typically this age of home, what they probably did was dug a hole somewhere around 3 foot and dropped in a drain. A lot of times in those we'll see a 16-inch cast iron drum that's up to about 2 feet deep.
All right.
That they just set inside.
So then it just fills up and then slowly dissipates into the soil.
So they're not very effective.
Right.
They get plugged up, obviously.
Right.
Kind of one of those things. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you're going to have a whole lot of problems with it there.
Well,
just because you're not getting a ton of moisture, you got the cover over it.
Right.
But certainly something that you need to be conscious of. If that becomes a problem, then really, you know, you're kind of...
Well, I guess you got to find out the first time it really rains real good and see if it fills up or not.
Yeah, well, and the test for that, if it was my house, I would just get a 5-gallon bucket, fill it full of water,
see
dump
how much it'll really...
See how many gallons of water I can get in there, and then I'd know for sure. I wouldn't expect much, though. And then, of course, if it is a perpetual problem, then the solution is break the floor out, make a bigger drain, you know, make a huge one.
Right.
If they were doing it today, then it would be from the footing, the whole thing. The entire thing would be a gravel drain underneath there. You know, so you'd have a huge capacity for a couple hundred gallons. But they didn't do that back in the 50s.
Sure.
Okay, doorbell does not work.
Okay, no visitors.
Okay. All right, now the attic access is right through here. I see a bunch of staining on there, but I think it's all just dirt. I thought it might be moisture, but I don't see any signs of that. We do have about 6 or 8 inches of cellulose insulation blown up there. It looks original.
Okay.
It is compacted, definitely not to the current industry standard. So you may want to add insulation for energy efficiency, and this is a good time to do it. It's part of that Obama thing where they give you money back.
Sure.
Structure looks good. It's all old. I do see signs of previous leaking. Nothing active, obviously, probably from the old roof. Don't think there's anything going on in the attic that you'll need to mess with. Probably never even go up in there.
All right.
And it's not designed for storage, so don't intend to use it for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's go downstairs.
Hey, you want to give me